Top Door One Ladies, my name is Chaz, and welcome to the What If Deku Became a Monster. So, I know there's a lot of videos of like, what if Deku became a Leviathan, or like anything like that. Well, in this What If universe, I created the most terrifying monster. And I am not going to color it in, but this beautiful monster right here. So, yeah. So I am adding zooming to this what if so that keeps it kind of balanced between the canon and this what if. And no, I am not going to do like what some people do in their what ifs of, like, there's this one guy that's like made a video of like, what if Deku became Doomsday one shot, and basically in his video, Deku, like Doomsday Deku, destroys everything, or destroys or kills everybody. I don't want that. So, yeah. So, this monster that I drew is supposed to represent, like, everything. Like, he is embodiment of everything. He has the Nomu's head, Green Lantern's body, with tendrils of like, imagine a worse creature in the entire, in any floor mat or any anime movies or TV shows. As I look at the Nomu, imagine seeing like the most scariest movies characters, or like horror movies. He's I don't know if I said that right, but yeah, the scariest movies times or so. Like, imagine all of them, all those like scary movie creatures and villains, fuse them together. I mean, all of it. So basically goes from like the Kevin Levins's alien forms to the fan-made Omnitrix kind. That's not all. That's just the tip of the iceberg, or very tippity-toppity ice of the iceberg. Yeah, he was a monster. Or that was his quirk. So, yeah, he had two quirks, fire manipulation and the monster quirk. So, but soon his monster quirk will infuse into, yeah. So, without further ado, let's jump right into this what if. So, sit back, relax, and grab some popcorn or anything. So, yeah, or anything. And enjoy this what if. So, this is going to be the movie version. I probably think about doing part 1, part 2. So, let's begin. Zuko and Zumi been born. And at the age of 3, Zuko, so Ochako dates Zuko because she loves him. with all of her heart. But she hangs out with him as... Oh, I forgot to explain his powers things, or the monster's abilities. I forgot. So he has, like what I said, he has all of the monsters, like the scariest creatures in the entire movies, video games, anything. So basically, Zuko even has, and I know you guys will call me out on it, but bear with me now. He can use powers, not transforms, actual powers of the, like, water or ultimate water hazard, or like any... I'm just using the Ben 10 thing, but it's way scarier than this abomination. Hey guys, what's up? Sorry. So he can use every power at his disposal. He can use, like, he could shoot heat vision out of his eyes. All 5 of his eyes. He could shoot heat blasts, or shoot heat from his hands. He's immune to... Yeah. He's an indestructible force to be reckoned with. And if he was in the water, his lower half, or so because he has, like, the ink tanks is, like, alien form. So, yeah. So then, let's get this. So, yeah. I am not going to explain a whole bunch, but yeah. He has a lot of powers when he's in his monster form. So, let's continue. That's what if. So, Zuko and Zumi been born, and so then at age 3, Ochako falls in love with Zuko because she loves him. She doesn't care about anything else except for him, because she knows that she wanted someone that's a little bit more powerful and trustworthy thing, or way more that has a quirks thing. So, yeah. So then that all changed at age of 4 when Zuko got told, or when the quirk doctor tells, first of all, he told Zumi that she has a quirk and Zuko doesn't have a quirk. So that was a lie. To Zuko's face. And Zuko knows sadness. So then Ochako decides to leave him because she doesn't want a quirkless weakling like him. So what does she do? She goes to Bakugo, the next best thing. Yeah. So Mungo and Raka. Alright. So Bakugo and Ochako been dating for or actually Bakugo yeah, since they were from age of 4 to 15. So, yeah, time skip thing. So, Bazuku Holmes was, his heart was broken once, but then his parents abandoned him, so, and his sister hates him, so, yeah. And the reason why I'm doing like these darker what ifs before and then like at the beginning is that it's like the how every superhero movie has. There's always that one backstory that's like, oh, the reason, like Peter Parker lost, like, yeah, his girlfriend, but yeah. So Suzuku's basically he walks around the entire city. His pain grows as his pain grew so much that even he doesn't need. He just needs to. So what does he do? He goes over to like a cave, not near the wild pussycats, and the how much pain he is going through. Yeah, Zuko was basically because he basically what they did hurt him mentally, not physically but mentally. So Zuko goes to UA or not UA. The Quarkless school. Oh, and the basically the yeah. He doesn't talk to anyone. He's so quiet. As everybody looks at him. Like he's just a creeper. Because he actually as he doesn't care. But then one day Zuko's so actually that was during the time skip thing I forgot to mention. So Zuko when he was age of 7, actually I forgot to mention, he shows so when Zuko basically shoots fire from his mouth as his depression, as he was like basically shot fire out as he kind of noticed that it's like surrounding him made into 3 rings. As he reached out and touched it, it doesn't burn him. As he sees as the as so then all for one, as says, you figured out your own quirk, or the quirk doctor lied to you, but you actually have two quirks. That's why I'm here. As Zuku's like, and grabs all three rings of the fire, as he's about to like go toe to toe with All for One. And All for One is in his prime, I forgot to mention. So yeah, Zuko was like, what do you want from me? Oh, I know that you have two quirks inside your body. The first quirk that you saw, or that you're using, is your own flame in control. I believe you have a sister named Zumi. I don't have a sister. Not anymore. As he looks away. Yeah, but no one knows. But you don't even know yourself any time. You're holding a lot of power back behind your monstrous appearance. Your quirk, your other quirk, is called Monster of Destruction. So it allows you to transform into a monster that's scarier than any normal human can ever imagine. But I want you to join my team, the League of Villains. No one can stop us if you joined. As he looks away, and don't worry. You're the only one. I'm the only one that knows that your secret of it. So then he says, sure. And Zuko, or so All for One trusts him, or so Zuko trusts him, and All for One says, come with me. As Zuko walks with him, as he goes, he joins League of Villains, no questions asked, as he got chosen by All for One to even wield the All for One, because how much power Zuko has. Yeah. Well, yeah. Sorry. So, yeah. Zuko gets trained on using his fire powers, or his fire quirks, should I say. And Zuko's like, as he doesn't know how to use his monster form, because he's trying to activate it, but it doesn't activate. The Zuko, so he works with All for One, or Overhaul, Oh, as he found, or actually, Zuko basically did something that helps himself. He created his own version of trigger that allows him to, yeah. So Zuko's his DNA mixed with or to create the serum. As Zuko's tested it on himself, as his quirk finally manifests, and as his body starts to morph, as they see the quirks, as he's basically, he had every monster, and he's in pain. So when he tried it out, so when he breathes heavily, he looked like a representative of all the Nomus combined into one most powerfulest Nomu, with limbs sticking out of him. Yeah, he was disgusting character. Or no, his monster form, not Zuko, because Zuko, who we all love Zuko, so when Zuko basically, bye, are you leaving?
You're at the dogs.
Okay.
You need to get back.
Okay. So, sorry about that. Yeah. So, yeah, sorry. I just had to itch my finger real quick. So, yeah, Zuko is such a beautiful character, but in this way, he had a quirk that turns him into a monster. But, yeah. So Zuko looks at himself as the doctor shows him the reflection. As he looks at himself in a reflection, as he's a monster, he's a freak show. As he belly laughs, so he has two mouths. One, his main mouth on his where his head is, and then his bottom half, like the one that you see right here, that's actually his mouth where all those lines are. Yeah. So, yeah, just ignore that message stuff. So, yeah. So now Zuko, so Zuko was a full class villain. As Zuko was, he tried to speak, but it turns into a roar of different voices. As he still is getting used to his monster abilities. But then something happened. The trigger that he made also infused his quirk with, he fused his flame manipulation quirk with his his monster quirk. And then the monster or flaming monster quirk fused into his own body. So it created a whole new abilities that he's kind of getting used to it. of controlling his own, So he just needs to cool it down. Because it's brand new and he tested it, so. And then, so, yeah. So now we're at, so the time skip, so yeah. To USJ. There, Bakugo and Ochako and Class 1A went to UA and USJ, should I say, and after they arrived and the villains popped out one by one, two by two, but then what got Bakugo and Ochako's attention was none other than Zuko Midoriya. Azumi was even shocked to see her own brother joining the villains. As he says, it feels good to be as everybody's like, it caused chaos thing. As Zuko, who looks over at who should I pick first? As Bakugo, Ochako, and Zumi were in front of him. In like this weird swampy biome. That was supposed to be like a safe ground. As Zuko looks at all three of them. As Baku or so Chaco's like, you're a villain now? Yeah. As Bakugo says, why? Hey, Zuko, why did you choose to be a villain? Your dreams of becoming the hero. Oh, I didn't have any choice. Means Bakugo. Plus, you're just looking at the one man that could destroy anyone. As Shraki or as Zuko says, as now. As Zuko activates his monster form. As he turned into a monster, a freak show that, as everybody says, quirkless. As Zuko creates a fireball. And blasted. As Bakugo, Ochako, and Zumi dodged the attacks. And Zuko used his own version of the ultimate water blast or whatever. I forget. That because I'm using Inktank's one. So go check that out. So Zuko used his own water blast and his own tendrils. As he's a force to be reckoned with, as he's shooting fire out and water, as he used his own tendrils to grab, as villains were like, dang. as he roars so loud that, yeah, his monstrous voices, as they hear his every voice in their own heads, like everyone's talking at the same time. As everybody says, or as Zuko says this, that I was born quirkless. As he turns his sights to Zumi, I wasn't born quirkless, little sister, or little Zumi. You hated me because of being quirkless, don't you? Azumi can't believe that as Azuka creates a explosion, like a spirit bomb, but on a whole nother level of it, as about to shoot it at Ochako, or shoots it right at Zumi. As Zuko, or as Bakugo flies, as he grabs Zumi, and makes him fly, or so basically Bakugo flew with Zumi. And here's a funny part is that Bakugo actually is in love with Zumi instead of Ochako. So, yeah. So Ochako was basically was with Bakugo, but as they were like trying to figure out why Zuko has two quirks. Alright. Bam. As he obliterates everybody. Or no, he obliterates all the villains around him because Bakugo guided his attacks as villains were like sent out of existence. Yeah, that got hit by it, got out of existence. So Kirigiri ends up teleporting himself away until he was done. As everybody, he's like, workless, useless. As he could still hear his voice. He's and Bakugo can't even think straight without the voices constantly telling him quarkless, useless. As it's repeating over and over again. As they're like, as Eraserhead was trying to go, try to cancel Zuko's quirk, but he couldn't because his quirk been modified to extreme dinosaurs thing. Yeah. So yeah, Zuko ends up basically so then his stomach talks normally, as he says, or as the stomach talks it's all because of people like you who 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 Bakugo, the people like you should die by my laser or by my powers. As Zuko uses his flame powers, as he looks over at the Eraserhead, as Eraserhead tries to grab Zuko's neck. But Zuko grabs it, throws the Eraserhead across the entire USJ, as he says, have you figured it out yet, an Eraserhead? I'm not just a ordinary villain. I'm a monster of destruction. Now if Bakugo and Ochako and everyone will pay with their lives. As he's about to do that of like Godzilla's atomic breath onto Eraserhead's body thing. Yeah. And then All Might shows up in his buffed up form. But he did run really fast. Like, he ran so fast, grabs Eraserhead, and then the atomic things, like blast that Zuko dashed out. As the stomach of Zuko says, dang it, and watch out, he's a force to be reckoned with. And as All Might says, I need a good challenge. Well, BAM! As Zuko comes in with a right hook, right into All Might's chest, sending All Might flying backwards. Hearns, with enough force, as he says, people like him, people like you better than, because I know that you don't have two quirks. I'm just a freak show. No one loves me. Everyone had to go for someone prettier or perfect person. As Zuko snarls, as growls like a wolf ready to attack. As the students are like, as the villains, or as Class 1A, he's like, runs and tries to stop him, holding him, as Mina, as a good looks, as his eyes, as he's about to do atomic breath again, as he looks at his own, or he looks at, as he's about to do it, but the Mr. Ozawa clamped his mouth shut thing, as he had tendrils, but Mina was trying to get up to him, but she ends up hitting his actual face with her torso. Basically, the embarrassing moment as he lands right on her, or no, he lands right on himself as he looks at, as his face turns brightest red. Because he had like a Nomu's like pointy side in, like point straight out, like how a Nomu is. But Zuko, who was, or when Mina puts her like torso on him, he never felt embarrassed. And Zuko teleports away, and he says that it was kind of embarrassing for you class, or for you pro, or you students to do. As he's as his chest turns, or as his back turns purple, as he does like Samler, but time for you to die. As he blasts as the cannon. Yeah. As everybody scattered. And then Ezuku was like, now I'm mad. As a shot, he could hear a shot as he dodged the 2 gunshots. As Snipe's like, that's impossible. But how? Click, click, boom. Ezuku uses his own version of Momo to create a bomb, like a grenade, as he throws it. And he was a force to be reckoned with. He even had Superman strength. And I almost forgot to mention, yes, I am adding DC Comics into this What If. So, yeah. So, Zuko was... So, not Mr. Ozawa, Kirigiri ends up teleporting Zuko away so that as Zuko calms down, as everybody is still in shock, like, aka him, some of them are just like, why? Or like Ochako thinks, like, why did Zuko, or why did her boyfriend not trying to kill her? And Mina gets, like, she gets bombarded by a bunch of superhero, or bunch of, like, Pikachu, human Pikachu, Grapefruit Kid, and Tape Boy, like, told Mina that's like, did you really have to, like, land on his face with your chest? I didn't mean to. I was trying to land on his head, but then, yeah. Don't get me started on what happened and after, or before that. or actually during that fight thing, Zuko, who, yeah, was blinded by the invisible girls one. So Zuko was pretty tough. And plus, with his eyesight so clear, he saw Invisible Girl's entire body. So he kind of did saw up her skirt thing. And, yeah. As when Zuko gets back to the villain's base, is he's like, his face is brightest red, and his entire body, he was like, okay. As he All Might said, or not All Might, All for One. I almost said All Might, but All for One says, was it successful? No, it went terrible. And most of our guys are obliterated by my attack. As he's down. Yeah, like he's blaming himself for it. And worse, they humiliated me by name. What do you mean? Were her, yeah. One was trying to get on top of my head to, like, and she had power of the acid thing. And the other was Invisible Girl, or turns her entire body into invisible. But I could still saw her so. She looks down. I can't believe I failed you. No worries. We bit off more than we could chew. So, yeah. So, we'll get them next time. So then the time skip to All Might versus All for One. As, let's say, not Bakugo gets captured. Let's say, yeah. Let's do similar to canon. As Bakugo, no one knew, or actually Zuko didn't know, that they captured Bakugo. As, yeah. So during the time skip thing, Zuko ends up, like, because he's always had these bad diarrhea things. But the one day, because he couldn't use the bathroom thing, so he used the sink, or not sink, the bathtub, and what came out of him was a girl with black eyes, monster, like basically a bunny nose. Teeth were sharper than a chainsaw. Don't ask me how I know. And it was a girl, basically. And he's like, he's so embarrassed. And yeah, he won't tell all for one. That because, but he figured out why but he did tell the court doctor and Kirigiri. So the court doctor tells old Zuko that your monster or flaming monster abilities allows you to also produce by yourself, so you don't need a mate to. What is that called? In Jurassic Park, I forget. It was like the girl, or like they slaughter after produce, like, I forget. Like basically how frogs do, yeah. So he gave birth to Destruction. Because, yeah, that's her female name, Destruction. Mrs. Destruction is her full name. So, because he's a destroyer, so he's, yeah. Yeah, so then the Zuko teached her, and he did tell Kirigiri, don't tell All for One that about this situation. Yeah. So then so now when he got back, and he basically saw Bakugo as he's about to charge up, as Dobby stops him, as he says, yeah, I knew you didn't like our little recruitment guy. As he looks away from it. As Bakugo is like, as Zuko did cover his mouth before, his own mouth, so, yeah. So Zuko ends up, basically, so then All Might shows up, and yeah, so then All for One versus All Might. As All for One says, you aren't so quick on your feet. As All Might, he did give One for All to Zumi, and Zumi did promise All Might that he or she will save her brother one day. As he starts, as All for One says, I'm simply using the kid to simply using the kid because he's more valuable than anyone that I ever seen before. He's more precious to me than to you. Because you were. So, yeah, All Might says, I want him back. If that's the last thing I do. As before he even, comes in full swing, Zuko caught the fist with his tendrils. And Zuko was like, you will not hurt my master. Good boy, Zuko. Now, throw him around and take care of this for me. With pleasure, master. As he throws as he throws All Might around like a little rag doll. as he says that none of this is your fault, All Might. It's both or all three students of yours that made me this way. I can label them Kasuke Bakugo, Ochako Raka, and Zumi Midoriya. Those three are the only ones that made me this way. And all for one helps me through this pain. But I feel so much better after, as he starts to roar so loud, as he's about to kill All Might with his own atomic breath. As Ochako and Zumi and Bakugo, the three duo, came through as they ran faster than, as they ran up to him and grabbed him by they clamped his mouth home. As Ochako, whom says, as then as Bakugo did take All Might away from there. So he did break All Might free from Azuku, as Bakugo, or so Ochako's trying, basically tells Zuko that Ochako says all that, as she says, because she says, I love you, too. And, she basically tells him that, or she tells Zuko that she loves him so much. That's why she doesn't want him to be a villain. And Azumi says, I know that you had hatred for me because you always, reason why I didn't, or as she's trying to say it, but Zuko knows what she's gonna say. As he had tears coming down his monstrous face. As Ochako and Zumi loved him, so Ochako loves him as her boyfriend. She says, I know what you said about, like, you didn't really need, or you think that we always chose, or so I always chose the powerfulest person that's good looking one. But I really did chose you, Zuko, over Bakugo, because so Zuko, his monstrous form, as Zumi says, I always didn't had any hatred for you. Oh. It was because of you were weak at the time, but That's in the past. I forgave you on it. Ezuku's monstrous abilities, as All for One says, he's not listening to words you're saying. Because his abilities transforms him into a monster. As his monstrous hearing thing, or like he has a daughter, so when he heard his own daughter say, "Dada, please come home, Dada." Yeah. So So Zuko, whose eyes, as he says quietly inside of his, because he shares telepathically to his own daughter. I'll be right there, sweet pea. My little destroyer, Earth destruction. Let your daddy just finish up this fight. Then I come and get you. As Zuko's eyes start to glow, as his eyes turn purple with his spine, as he's about to create a big explosion, because the Omega Beam that he normally shoots through his mouth or mouths, it can also create a vortex. And actually he created a pocket universe thing. As everybody says, "Get down," as everybody gets, as Zuko blasted everything away, as All for One was the only one that got killed. Got obliterated. As Zuko was like, as he's going, so they were going through every Zuko's memories, from a happy ones to the angry ones. They also see through alternate universes, even alternate timelines things. So when Zuko brought everyone back, as everybody's like, yeah. So then Superman comes up out of nowhere and beats snot out of Zuko. As Zuko caught the fist. As Zuko's, yeah. So as All Might stops Zuko, or no, All Might stops Superman from, as he says that it's okay, Superman. He's been misled by All for One and the League of Villains. He wanted to be a hero. As a little kid came out. Dada? Dada? As a little innocent girl, monster girl, should I say, walks right up to Zuko. As he walks, or as she walks over to Zuko, as Zuko was beaten badly, as he picks her up, destroy her. It's so cute. As he puts his knees together, as she's like, she carries, as he carries her around, as Ochako can't believe, and Superman can't even believe it. Everybody can't believe what Zuko had a kid before. So, yeah. And when I say Monster Girl, I think of the Invincible one. If you guys don't know what I'm talking about, that's okay. Monster Girl from Invincible. This girl right here. Yeah. So, Monster Girl, yeah. But in this what if, she's like that. But she still has a similar powers to like what her father can. Like, she can become monster, like what she is. Or she could either be human. Yeah. As Superman, or as Martian Manhunter says, interesting. Your powers, when you transform into a monster, you also produce your own without a mate. That's only in your monster form. Yeah. I knew that from... Okay. And... So then when he says, because he transforms back into his human form, but he actually did chose Ochako to be his girlfriend thing. So, as he walks up to Ochako, as Ochako looks at him with his hand sticking out, as she grabs it, she actually did, or so Bakugo actually did tell his parents that they were trying to pull a prank on Zumi so that to make her feel jealous. As yeah. So when the Bakugo says, but I still love Zumi so much. That's the one person I choose. So Bakugo ends up... So Ochako told Zumi... Or no. Bakugo... Or no. So Ochako tells Zuko that there was a prank that that Bakugo and I wanted to do on you. But yeah. Yeah. So then Bakugo tells Zumi that we had the plan of the to make you feel jealous. Well, it worked, so yeah. So then, as Bakugo did kiss Zumi right then and there, as Bakugo says, I don't want anyone to, like, bother or try and take you away from me. As Zumi, he actually has feelings for Bakugo, so it worked out in the end. So, Bakugo, or so Ochako ends up walking up to Zuko and kissed him right then and there. As, yeah. So they got married at like 18, and yeah, they already have a daughter, but so Chaco home did something inappropriate to Zuko, because first off, they did go to the bar to celebrate their, or actually 21. Yeah. So they start drinking. And yeah, Ochako got, I mean, I'm not gonna go into details. Let's say she had her own kids. And her kids and came out of her body. Honey? Yeah. They looked like they could be in the next X-Men and ones. So Ochako had 3 kids from Zuko. And of course Zuko had 1 because monster form. So that was 4 kids in total. So if you guys, and she's the oldest, so she's like a teenager at that point. Because I know that it's based on a script thing that I did. And yeah, Zuko was pretty powerful. So, yeah, and normally, like, monsters, like, dinosaurs, like, Jurassic Park thing, like, dinosaurs in it produce, like, similar to what frogs do. They have, like, frog DNA, so they do whatever. They could change their genders. So, yeah. But I thought to myself, maybe monsters who have the same thing. And on a whole nother level. So, yeah. And if you guys want me to do more of these what ifs, like, tell me in the comments below. And when you're down there, to do, like, say something crazy. I want something like, for my next what if, I really don't know. But I have a craziest idea for the next what if. And yeah, the whole incident thing happened to, so let me be more specific thing before we go. Zuko gets, like, bombarded with 3 girls that, yeah, because he first two, it was accidental one. He tried to knock them both out with his arm, but both of them, yeah. So, yeah. And the monster girl, like her, looked almost similar to what? Zuko? Or so the. So her in this what if, instead of transforming into like her, so yeah, it goes back and forth. So, but instead of her transforming into a big green hulking guy, or yeah, into her. So yeah, if you guys want me to do a new what if, but here's a twist. I will make, if this video gets 1 or 2 likes, I might add Monster Girl as her own separate and like character to be added to this what if segment. So peace out, y'all, and have a good night or day. Depends on the time zones, and peace.